So I started this vlog and I had people reaching out to me asking to have a coffee meetup. I said, let's do it all at once. Called it the Orlando Filmmaker Breakfast. We've had 2 meetings, and for the 3rd one, we're leaving the cafe. And instead, it'll be in the arena that the Orlando Magic play. I started this vlog because I had a dip in work that I was getting contracted for as a freelance DP. And I said, I have some time now, why don't I just make a little vlog? I love watching the Cranky Cameraman's vlogs. I have an iPhone, I can edit on iMovie. Why not just do that and put out my own? And it was fun. It got me more enthusiastic about the jobs that I was going to, and I started getting good feedback from the YouTube comments. And this is the 50th one. It's crazy that in 6 months or so, I've done 50 vlogs, I've monetized the channel, I've set up the Orlando Filmmaker Breakfast. That meetup has produced work for me. It's connected me with local people in the community. It's produced work for other people who have attended the meetup. And it's just growing organically because I just took a little bit of initiative and started a vlog.
That's good. Should be solid.
This entire event was put on by someone in my Orlando filmmaker group. Vipul Bindra owns his own production company here in Orlando, deals with big clients, small clients, anything in between, and thought it would be a fantastic resource to host a networking event with the people from my group as he rented out the Kia Terrace in the Amway Arena, and it did not disappoint. It was bigger than I thought could ever happen, and this is only the 3rd official meeting for the Orlando Filmmaker Group. That's people on the left, right there, wearing his own merchandise. I love the branding. I'll be honest, I'm not watching any of the hockey game right now, but I do love hearing how so many different people reach around the same level of the industry. Take Sophia right here. She recently just had a collaboration with Artlist.io, which is a massive music platform. I didn't even know that was possible, but Ruth introduced her into the group, so happy to have her here. And I just love hearing people's tactics, business tactics, career tactics. Maybe my niche is over here, but my clients are over here. It's always enlightening because some people have found success in different ways. So we ended the game, went to the local taco shop, and got to have a little bit more private conversations, a little bit more community growth. I love doing this because you just don't have this unless you put it together yourself. So that's Vipul on the left, the man who put it all together. And then a couple of the remaining few went out to a nightclub. Not as much networking and private conversations, but I always have people asking, where are these videos that you work on? And normally I don't get to see them. However, this time, the director for this shoot, I made a vlog about this. I'll put it into the corner right here. He shot it and I assisted, and he's already cut it up, and I believe this is the rough draft, but I normally never get to see the video, so it was really cool to see all that hard work and what it actually turned out to. The FX3s are on the shoot. They were so clean and amazing, but this was all put together by Jay. He was the director, that guy right there, very cool dude, and does some amazing productions, and I always try to get on any freelancing gigs with him when I can. On my way to a food shoot where the camera's gonna be up and over looking down, and I don't want to hang a heavy FX6. So before I ship the C70, we're gonna use it one more time and put it on my boom stand, and then throw it back in there and ship it to the guy in New York. So I arrived at the location with enough time to grab a little coffee and sent over just a courtesy text. Hey, I'm here in the parking lot. Just give you a heads up whenever you arrive. And then I was met with the text, oh, you were given the wrong address. This is the new one, the correct one. So now we're going there. Little cooking segment, so I decided to turn off the house lights and use mine. So this is a little bit of fill. I needed to get a little bit more shadow fill in, and then I'm using my 200x as the key, and then using that GVM panel just as a little bit of more shadow fill. And that way everything is balanced at 5600 and it looks great. I decided to HDMI in a small monitor. So, C70 doesn't have SDI. Luckily, I have a kind of a long HDMI cable, and that's going into a very, very cheap monitor, and the client loved having it there. In previous times, they've had to look at the C70 screen, which was just not comfortable. So having it right here is fantastic. And I also have autofocus engaged, which is really nice. The products and the food can come right up. It'll get focused on and then taken out. So I really love the C70 and the 18-35 combo. It looks fantastic. Very happy with the image and the exposure, and so was the client. And then it was disassembling the camera and packaging it up because I sold it on eBay. Someone got a really good deal. Definitely was worth more than what it sold for, but I just want to get it out and continue the conversion into the Sony ecosystem, and this is step one for doing that. So it's finally shipping out, and I am looking for my B camera because if the C70 is gone and I need to have a smaller camera for situations like this, I need a small Alpha Series camera, and I'm not sure which one to go with. You guys should definitely be familiar with James Gilbert. He is a Florida photographer based out of Jacksonville, but was doing some conference work here in Orlando and asked me for a coffee before he started the 3 to 4 hour drive back. I obviously said yes, I love meeting up, and we just have to have more networking, more friendly chats, hear about what he's doing, what I'm doing. And one thing that was interesting is if you guys have seen the new Netflix show that just released about the 3 top quarterbacks, one of the guys who is in NFL Films, who was Patrick Mahomes' DP, was actually in that MMA docu-reality series that I worked on a couple months ago. It's insane how small the circles can be, and you don't even know the length and extensiveness of who's in those circles, but sometimes you're in them and you don't even know.
Got a 4-hour drive from Orlando to Tallahassee to film some MMA, and I love this job. I get to see some regional fighters fighting their heart out, and I have the best seat in the whole venue. Not a bad job.
It's ridiculous how little gear I have in this bag when I go to this job, but all I need is the external monitor, the on-camera shotgun mic, and these 2 batteries, and most of the time I don't even make it to the second battery. But business as usual for me. However, for Doran, the guy on the left, I met him from my MMA documentary that I did, and then we connected again because we found out we were both in the art of documentary, and he is doing a story on this fighter right here. So I have no clue what it's about, and I can't wait to see it. But it's really cool getting to see someone jump into the cage and follow their character, follow the story. It's crazy when it's happening live and you're trying to think of so many different story outcomes, but yeah, fun to watch.
That's it. Another one in the books.
You know you're in Florida when you go to the hip, new, trendy cafe, and across the street is a prison.
I have a long drive back to Orlando, but I just got this inquiry to cover a large apartment complex. I've shot for them in the past. We did video. Now they want to add photo. I'm out of the real estate game, photo game. I sold all my photo cameras. So I think they're going to go with someone who can do both. I'm going to connect them with someone within the Orlando Filmmaker database. And I've actually worked for them before I started this group, but now that they're in it, it's just nice. We can all share work and help each other out.
All right, taking a little break from the cafe, and we're gonna do some editing out here. Lots of reflections and fingerprints, but just nice to get some fresh air. It's not usually this pleasant in Florida. I love bringing you guys in for these job inquiries. This one came from Production Hub, like most of them do, and they are looking for a one-man band to do a run and gun style shoot of a day in the life of whoever character this is.
So they want to emphasize good sound, and they're actually saying we want to use natural light. And so I sent them my email or my website and the recent video that I did for the Art of Documentary. I have sent that video to the Art of Documentary, and we are in the revision phase, but I'm using that on a private link to send to this lead so that they can see the most recent work that I've done. And honestly, it looks like the best work that I've done. I sent that to them. They responded. Lovely to meet you. Thank you for sharing your work and the samples. Our budget is $1,000 all in minus gas reimbursement. So my full day rate is $1,200 for camera, light, and sound. So they want to discuss further, and I said, yes, I can do 1,000 because you wanted to have natural light. So I can drop out my lighting package, drop it to 1,000, and we both get what we want. I'm not just lowering the rate just because. I'm providing less value. There is not a lighting package on this one. It looks like they're an established company who could probably lead to more work. So this is a good one. I'm happy about this one, and I hope it goes through.
I heard about this film, The Path of the Panther, and when I found out they were playing near my house with a Q&A from the director, I had to go. I always love seeing what current work is being produced. This film was amazing. It really, really shined a spotlight on Florida conservation and how wildlife is getting pushed out, but a fantastic film.
And to my left, Eric Bendick, the director from Grizzly Pictures.
Getting your work selected by a film festival takes a lot of effort, but attending is completely accessible to anyone. And I highly recommend looking at your local film festivals, or even if they take a drive, because you get to see what is the current level of creativity that is needed and being produced by people around me. And I rush home because I have a consultation call with one of the viewers of this channel who had a lot of specific questions about transitioning to freelance. So with this hour, we get to really dive into it. And not only do I share my perspective, but I get to share the perspective of the colleagues around me. It's more facts, it's more evidence to inform them of what are possible solutions. So if you want to schedule a consultation call, just hit the email in my description and we can book a date and get you on the calendar.
I just wanted to say some of the things that we went over today. What was the 4 points that we had?
Running the business side of freelancing.
Right. And then rates for projects versus hourly.
Pricing packages or rates. How to deal with editing rates. And also dealing with podcast services and how to price them.
Yeah, a lot of exploration for each question, but I feel like we did pretty good.
Yes. Thank you so much. That was a major help.
I just got a call from the director of the MMA docu-reality series. I made a vlog on it. It was very high-level production, higher than I'm used to. And he just called and said, do you have availability tomorrow and the next day? And do you have an FX6? So I do have an FX6. I am available. Great. We have some pickup shots that we need to do, and then I'll probably be flying in on the weekend from Las Vegas. I said, okay. My batteries are always charged. I have the right gear. And then it just follows that phrase, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. So if you're always prepared and you're ready for opportunities to come, you tend to get pretty lucky.